Hello, welcome to Healing Yoga. Thanks to Above and Beyond Cancer. We'll begin shortly. I want to give a couple of minutes for everyone to get tuned in and settled into their space, and then we will begin. If you have a block as part of your practice, that would be a nice prop to have today. And if a chair, it can be a simple folding chair or a simple kitchen chair. So that is handy to have as well. So I'll give you a moment to get settled in. Say hi in the comments if you would like. We always appreciate knowing who's tuning in and who's here. And we're so glad that you are here. So we'll get started in just a moment. So as you gather your belongings, be sure you have everything you need. Find a comfortable seat. It can be on a chair or it can be on the floor. Either way, whatever suits your body best. My name's Janice Ware, and I'll be sharing healing yoga with you today. Thank you to Above and Beyond Cancer for making this offering happen every week for all of you in this group. Please know that at any time during the practice that if something isn't feeling quite right in your body, or there's any sort of strain or discomfort, please know to just back away from that. Ahimsa, do no harm, is a very important part of yoga, and it means not only to others but to yourself as well. So this class is all about being gentle with yourself, allowing the healing and bringing peace to you. So we'll go ahead and get started. So find a comfortable seat. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you. And we'll begin with a time of centering. So feeling grounded and comfortable in your seat, just invite you to take a moment to check in with your breath. Simply noticing it, not changing it. And place one heart on your chest if you would like to experience a gentle rise and fall of your chest as you breathe naturally. You may even feel your heart beating. If you feel led, you may place both hands over your heart and place within someone or something for which you are feeling especially grateful. It might be in this moment, this week, or in this life. And then let the hands rest in the lap, palms up or down, whichever you would like, just for a moment, I invite you to consider the mudra, Anjali Mudra, and you may go ahead and practice it if you would like. It's simply bringing the palms together in front of the heart center. We use this mudra a lot in yoga, and it has many benefits. I'd like to share with you a little bit about Anjali Mudra, so I invite you to just close your eyes as you practice the mudra. This is Anjali Mudra. It is a gesture of reverence. It represents the union with the light within each of us, calms the mind, reduces stress and blood pressure, cultivates inner silence, brings balance to our energy. This gesture directs breath, awareness, and energy into the center of the chest, supporting us in turning inward toward our authentic being. As we become calm and centered, we experience unity as a reflection of our true being. And as you continue to practice Anjali Mudra, or if you would like, you can rest your hands in your lap. But I invite you to close your eyes and experience Samavriti, which is simply an even inhale with an even exhale. So we'll breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. So you can count in your head, and whatever the count looks like for you today, whether you count to 3, 4, or 5, just breathing in and breathing out with an even inhale and exhale. This is a balancing and calming breath practice. I invite you to continue to practice that for a few more breaths. Go ahead and open your eyes with a soft gaze. We'll inhale, bring hands to sky. Exhale toward the earth. Breathing in and out. And in and out. Let's begin by warming up the joints and the muscles of the body. Extend both legs, whether you're seated on the floor or the mat, but keep a light bend in the knees. And we'll begin by curling and splaying our fingers and our toes. So bringing them all inward, squeeze, and then go ahead and spread the fingers apart. Splay the toes. Inhale as we bring everything inward. Exhale, splay. So just do that a couple of more times. Just warming up these tiniest of joints on which we rely in so many ways, probably more than most of us realize. And then go ahead from here. You can rest your hands in your lap, and we'll just slowly windshield wiper the feet to one side and slowly go to the other side. Notice what sensations you're feeling in each foot and where you're feeling that sensation. It might be more comfortable if you bend your knees a wee bit more. This is a lovely, slow, gentle movement to get into the outsides and the insides of the foot. And then we'll bring the feet to center, and we'll bring our wrists and our ankles to some circles. moving slowly so you can experience all parts of that motion. Noticing all the different muscles and movements that occur in the simple rotation of wrists and ankles. And then we'll pause and go back the other direction. And then rest the hands in the lap, bringing the feet to earth. From here, we'll inhale, come up on the toes, so lift the heels. And if your legs are extended and you're sitting on the mat, you can point your feet. Exhale, come back to neutral. And on the inhale, bring the toes toward you. So if your legs are extended on the mat, this is a flex. So we'll breathe in, up on the toes or pointing. Breathe out, slowly move in to bringing toes toward the shin or flexing. So again, gently move in and out of that. We'll be doing this motion standing in a bit. So this is a way for us to warm up this joint with this movement without any weight bearing. Of course, you'll also be able to practice it seated. Go ahead and relax the feet down. Just choose one leg and bend and extend. This is going to look different for everyone, of course. The knee joint is an interesting one. So honor your body, and maybe you have full range of motion without any pain. And if you don't, be mindful that you're not going to the place where there's pain. Go ahead and let's rest that foot down on the earth. Kind of gets into your quad too. We'll move to the other side. So for example, my bodies that do not have as much range of motion without pain in this one. So it's just a matter of being mindful and being gentle with our body. There's no pain in yoga. There might be work, for sure. There is definitely work in yoga, but there should not be pain. And rest your foot down on the ground. All right, just take your palms and gently circulate those around the knee, literally bringing warmth to that joint, and then pause and go back the other way. And then from here, we'll bring our hands to the lap. Also, if you're seated, you're in good shape for this one. And sitting with a tall spine, we'll hinge forward from the hips, and then to the side, and then to the back, and then to the other side. So it's a torso circle, your torso being your upper body. And we're very slowly and gently moving it in a circle, taking note of the hips, the back. Get the shoulders a little involved if you would like. Any movement that feels natural. Simply maintaining a long spine. And then the next time you come center, pause, and we'll go back the other way. Noticing and listening. And the next time you come to center, pause and come back up to seated. Bringing the heels of the hands into your hip creases. Lift the heart. So what that means is you bring your heart forward and upward, but it's not a big motion. The shoulders are not involved here. You're just lifting upward and outward. And the shoulders are still relaxed. And as you do this, inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly take your hands out to your knees And you can round the back as you exhale. Now, if you have osteoporosis or any concerns with the spine, I invite you to lean back and maintain a long spine as you exhale. Then inhale, bringing hands to hip creases, lifting the heart, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Exhale. Go ahead and move through this. This is called cat-cow. Move through it at your pace with your breath. You may want to move through it more slowly than I do. Maybe one is feeling especially good in your body today, and you simply want to hold it there for a few breaths. You're learning to explore your body, and this is your yoga. We're warming up the spine. And then we'll come up to seated. And then from here, bring the fingertips to the shoulder blades and draw some circles with your elbows. Your elbows don't have to be up here. Just have them where it's comfortable. Draw some small circles with your elbows. And then gradually, if it feels all right in your body, make your circles bigger. Slowly. Go slowly so we can be mindful of how it's feeling in our body. And then pause and go reverse and go back the other way. This time we'll start with the big circles, because that's where we are. And gradually make the circles smaller. And then allow the arms to come to your sides. And we'll breathe in, shrugging the shoulders up as high as you can bring them, squeezing them in toward your neck, up toward your neck and toward your ears. And then slowly releasing them and take your shoulders purposefully downward as if someone's pressing on top of your shoulders. We'll do that again, breathing in. And out. And then we'll come to center. Okay. Bring your arms out in front of you with your fingers interlaced. We'll inhale, bring our arms upward. Now, if you need to come to circle and then extend, that's fine. Of course it's fine. And then lower them. It's fine if you don't even do this. And then we'll inhale, and you may find that maybe you stay here. Keep a slight bend in the elbows. Remember, we're not about forcing anything. And exhale. We'll do this one more time. Breathing in. And out. And then release the fingers and allow the hands to rest in your lap. Now we'll take the arms, just kind of like a little scale, a W if you will. Take your gaze to one side, just to the side, not behind you. And whatever direction your gaze is facing, lift that foot from the earth. And feel your leg engaging and using muscles. Lower the foot to the earth as you take your gaze to center and bring your hands to center. Next, we'll explore that on the other side. So again, bringing the arms outward, gaze to the other side, lift that foot, and you don't have to lift it up high. You will feel it engage as soon as it lifts the floor. And lower, and bring your palms to center. And we'll move through this with the breath, so you can decide your pace. So you can do one or two with me, but move into doing how it feels best to you. So we'll inhale and take our hands to W, gaze to side, lift one foot. Exhale to center. Inhale, arms to W, gaze to the other side, lifting that foot. Exhale to center. If it's uncomfortable to lift the whole foot, explore just lifting the heel. So we're breathing in to one side, breathing out to center. Breathing in to one side, out to center. Go ahead and do it a couple more times on your own. This is a lovely practice for warming up. There's a lot of parts of the body involved with this. Appears to be a simple movement. There's a lot going on. Bring your hands to heart center. Let's pause here for a moment. Allow our body to rest. You can even close your eyes if you would like. Just check in with your body, how it's feeling. Rest your hands in your lap if you would like. And then from here, we'll take one ear toward the shoulder. So we've done some movement with the neck. But now we're just going to be gently stretching. No strain, no forcing. Bring the head back to center. We'll see what's going on the other side. I always remind folks it can be a whole different experience on the other side. So it's important to honor that. I'm always tighter on this side, so you're not going to see my neck move as much, because I would probably hurt it if I tried to. I don't want to do that, right? Come back to center. Now, hymn said, do no harm. Let's return to the first side, and then just turn your gaze downward toward the shoulder. You tuck the chin a little. Take a couple breaths into this area that you're noticing sensations in, the area of the neck and shoulder. Just breathe into that spot a couple times. And then after your next exhale, go ahead and draw a smile across the collarbone with your chin. Noticing every sensation along the way. Pause when you get there and return. Taking your gaze forward and head back up to center. We'll explore that on the other side now. So taking the opposite ear toward that shoulder. Always remembering to check in, have a tall spine. And take your gaze downward, just looking at your shoulder, your amazing shoulder. Tuck your chin a little if you would like. And notice where you're feeling the sensation here, whether in your neck, your shoulder, back. Take a couple of breaths into that area. And then on your next exhale, draw a smile with your chin going across the chest to the other side. Returning. Gaze toward the side and head back up to center. Let's explore our first Tadasana of the day. Tadasana is mountain posture. You can practice it seated or standing. You can practice it seated on the mat too, through your mind's eye as you press out through your feet. And that's fine if you would like to do that for just a moment. Because we're pausing here in Tadasana to check in with our bodies. We spend time warming up the body. It helps us to check in with what we're feeling where in the body. And that helps to guide our practice. Now I would invite you to move to a Tadasana, either on the chair or standing on the mat. So I'll give you a moment to find what that looks like for you. We'll be practicing moving mountain. And because that does include some balance, I highly recommend you stand behind a chair if you are standing. So we'll begin by finding Tadasana. And again, you can do this seated. Whether you're seated or standing, when we come up on our toes, everybody will come up on their toes. The people on the chair might come up higher, and the people standing might just come up a little. It doesn't matter. It's not about how high you lift your heels. It's just about the heels lift up from the earth. It doesn't matter how high. All right? And we'll be alternating with the arms. So decide where you would like to practice, on a chair or standing, and we'll begin. So we'll begin with our feet about hip distance apart. Slight bend in the knees. So not like this, but a little bit of a bend. Such a tendency for us to just, lock them out. All right, now lift all 10 toes. Root down into the big toe mound and the little toe mound, those areas of the foot right underneath the big toe and the little toe, and your heel. So find those 3 areas, like a tripod. Okay. Notice that when you do that, and seated folks pressing into the earth, rooting down in there, your legs are engaged. So if you want to relax the 10 toes down, that's cool. Keep the engagement in the legs. And then we'll all draw in at the center. Engage the center body to help support our back. Shoulders are relaxed, down and back, palms facing forward. Bring the chin forward slightly. There's always a tendency for us to be looking up slightly. So just bring that chin down a little bit to create a little space back there. Find your drishti, that's your focal point, something on which you can place your gaze during practice today that is not moving. Tadasana, mountain posture. Now we'll move into moving mountain. So we'll begin by coming up on our toes and raising one hand. And then we'll lower. And we'll come up on our toes and raise the other hand. Now if you're practicing this standing, you have options. You can rest your fingers on the back of the chair. You are still reaping every benefit of the pose, believe me. Breathing in and out. Or you can always explore what it's like to not do that. And it's not about how long you stay up on your toes. We're simply moving back and forth. So breathing in, we're all on our toes, raising one hand. Slowly breathing out, we lower. Moving back and forth. Practice this at your pace. Although ankle warm up, feet warm up is paying off. And then for this last time, if your balance allows, lift your heels and bring your arms upward. And then lower. Lovely. Everybody shake out both legs. Shake out one leg. Shake out the other leg. That energy. And let that let go a little. That can be a lot. Okay. So next up, standing or seated, we'll work here as well. We'll be exploring side bends. So we'll be coming into the side body. So when we do a side bend, one side is very expansive And the other side is kind of soft and squishy and squeezy. Okay? So we're going to explore our arms in 3 different positions to bring our awareness to the side body. So let's begin with our hands on our hips. Okay? Unlock your knees if they're locked. And Tadasana. Tadasana with hands on your hips though. And we'll simply bend our body to one side. Bending, this hip might move out a little, but not a huge amount. And just move until you feel something here. And notice where you feel it. Do you feel it more down towards the hip? Do you feel it more here? Where do you feel it? And then we'll come to center. We'll go to the other side now. Side bend. Where do you notice it on this side? May or may not be in the same place as the first side. You may notice it anywhere along here, or you may notice it somewhere else. Come back to center. I'm not in your body, you are, so you know where you feel it. All right, so from the hands on the hips, we will check in to how it feels with our hands on our shoulders. Just simply bringing our fingertips to our shoulders, kind of like we did in the warm-ups, but a little bit more relaxed this time. Okay, let's check in with our Tadasana, rooting down, slight bend in the knees, gauging the center, shoulders relaxed. We'll just bend to one side. Now what do you notice? Where do you feel the expansion on the outside of the body here? How does the squeeze feel differently? Let's come to center and go to the other side. You also might feel like you're a little more expansive on one side than the other. So noticing where you feel, how it may feel differently on this side. Same with the squeeze. And then come back to center. Relax both arms down at your side for a moment. And then we'll bring the arms upward. So they don't have to be super stretched out. Bring them upward. And then we'll keep them apart, but we'll go ahead and bend at one side. Now, find the sweet spot, that balance of effort and ease. Now, without bending anymore, just reach that top arm a wee bit. And see if you were able to create a little more expansiveness. Let's come back to center. Let's relax, give the shoulders a bit of a break. And we'll bring arms upward again. This time we'll bend to the other side. Find the spot that feels great. Nice balance of effort and ease. And then without bending the body anymore, take that upper arm. See if you can reach outward and upward a bit more to create a little bit more expansion there. Come back to center. And let's slowly allow our arms to just float down. Just float down. Let your arms just hang at your sides for a moment. Notice any sensations you may feel anywhere in the body. Arms, shoulders, fingertips, torso. Right, and now we'll go ahead and take the legs wide. Take a wide stance. And seated or standing. If you like to practice Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2 seated, and you already know that, go ahead. For those of you that may be like, what's that look like? I'll show you. Just had someone ask me that today. If you want to practice it on chair, you simply bring one leg out to the side with the knee bent. This leg can be right here, or you can expand it out a bit. But keep a slight bend in the knee. And this can be your foundation, or this can be your foundation if you're practicing Warrior Two on a chair. Now what's interesting is I get that foundation, and I'll notice that then when I go to stand up, it's really quite similar. I have my front foot pointing toward the short edge of the mat. The knee is bent, but the other leg is extended. Okay. The one thing I will offer for folks practicing standing, just a bit of a little safety tip for the day, is to have a chair right in front of you, just in case you might feel a little off balance or shaky. We never know. And then if that happens, you're in position, you're practicing your Warrior Two. If you feel a little shaky, you have something here. Okay? And you may not use it, but it's an offering. All right, let's go ahead, build our foundation first. So everyone has their legs in position, folks on the chair rooting into the earth. We're all facing the long edge of our mat. Bring the arms out to sides. Relax the shoulders, and then take your gaze out toward the side. We'll be here for a few breaths. Above+Beyond 2. Strength, stability, balance, focus, expansion. Can you find the Tadasana in this posture? Think about your torso. All right, let's go ahead and straighten that front leg, or relax the legs and bring the hands to heart center. We'll move in and out of it now. So if you're seated, your legs do not move, but you can have them pressing into the earth and then resting on the exhale. Those of us standing will inhale, and then you will be bent, and then we exhale. We simply straighten that front leg. Let's go ahead and do that for a few times. Inhale. Warrior Two. Exhale. Rest. Breathing in and out. Move through this a few times at your pace. And if you decide, I just want to hold the posture for about 20 breaths, go for it. Hold it for as many breaths as you would like. Kind of depends what benefits you want to receive. So when we move in and out of a posture with the breath like this, we're working on all those things, but it's also calming to our nervous system. Let's do one more. Breathing in and out. All right, now we will all return to mountain or Tadasana, on the chair or standing. Let's come here for a moment. Close your eyes if you would like, and I just would like you to notice any difference on the sides of the body. Maybe there are, maybe there aren't. Now we'll switch over to the other side. So take the other leg to the side of the chair. I'm going to practice seated on this side because that's what's best for my knee. You can practice standing. So now we'll simply turn. The opposite leg will be bent and the opposite leg will be extended. Okay. Our torso is still facing the long edge of the mat. Feet firmly planted on the earth. Bring our arms up about shoulder height. You can also bring them here. Your shoulders might be thinking, I've had enough for today, and give them a break. All right, so let's go ahead and come into position for Warrior Two. And always practicing on the chair, remembering to root the feet down to engage the legs. Gaze out over the front bent leg. Tall spine. Sometimes there's a tendency to want to lean forward in this posture, so remember to stay centered. Just the gaze is going. Not reaching, not striving, we're just being. Breathing in and out naturally. And then go ahead, Relax, bring the hands to heart center. Straighten your front leg if you're standing. That's how your rest time will look. All right, now inhale to warrior two. Exhale, relax and rest. Breathing in to engage. And breathing out. Go ahead and move through this a few times at your pace. Remembering that if you actually prefer to hold poses for a longer period of time, that can be your practice. You're in charge of your body. Do that one more time. And then we'll all meet in Tadasana. Checking in here. Close your eyes if you would like and notice. Notice your legs, your hips, your torso, your arms. And then open your eyes if you haven't already. And let's take the legs wide. And grab your block if you have one. If you don't, it's okay. You could use anything really, or you can use your legs. Take the legs wide here, keeping the knees bent, tall spine. Bring the hands here. This can be a nice way to begin. So we'll be hinging from the hips. So we're not going to be bending at the waist or even dropping the head and neck. But we're going to be like the lid to a box. Hinging forward from the hips slowly. Just come forward a little ways. Pause. Make sure your feet are pressing into the earth to support you. You can do this standing or seated. And maybe you're going to be just fine right here. Maybe this is like, this is as good as, this is as far as I'm going to feel comfortable going today. Then you hang out here. If you want to explore going a little farther, you could bring your forearms to your legs, the hands to the block, and continue to hinge forward. Ever so slowly. And if you get any point where you feel a twinge in your back, then you just want to come up a little higher until you do not feel that. So it's up to you. It's a way of coming forward. It can be a relaxing posture. Not every posture is relaxing that says it's relaxing is for every body. And then press up from your block. Bring one hand and then the other to your legs as you press up to seated. Go ahead and heel toe those feet inward. And we'll be exploring a balanced posture today called Tadasana or dancer. So I'm going to give you lots of options here. So picture in your mind's eye, probably a picture you've seen of someone standing on one foot with holding their foot, reaching behind and grabbing their foot, holding that out holding that while standing on one leg and reaching forward. Excuse me, just a minute. It is a beautiful posture, but it's not necessarily yoga. It is an asana posture. But what's beautiful about it is the sensations that one can experience when practicing it, just the energetic sensations. Sorry. So if we want to explore practicing that in some other ways, since 99% of bodies are not able to do that and don't need to do it to experience the benefits, here are some options. So one thing you can do, seated, is you can be in your chair. You can have a block here. And bring that knee down to the block. This kind of allows your foot to relax a little bit more. Or if the block doesn't feel good under your knee, you can do this. Or you can even let the toes fall the other side. It's a little less stable that way, to be honest. So I would recommend you try the block. Another option is to do it here on the outside of the chair this way, too. So you can try all of them and decide which one you like best. Personally, I think this is going to be my choice today. You do you. What if you want to explore it standing? If you want to explore it standing, the chair is lovely, propped for that. So for standing, simply bring one knee to the chair. Now you might need to put a little blanket or a pillow under your knee if you have a tender knee. But doing this allows us to just maintain a good solid base. You still have your supporting leg, and this leg is here. So decide if you want to do it seated or standing. Find your foundation. Next, we'll get the arm involved. So I'm actually, next we'll get the arm involved. So you take your shoulder back as if you were going to reach and touch, grab your foot. But maintain your posture. So you're reaching, probably not touching. Don't even need to bring the foot toward the hand. The other arm is extended outward. You can make the little chin mudra with the thumb and first finger if you would like. So, and lift the heart. So this shoulder is back, reaching downward toward the foot. Your skin, take that bent knee, and we'll come back to Tadasana, whether you're on the chair or whether you're seated. And then we'll switch sides. Again, I'm practicing on a chair on this side because of this knee. So there you go. All right, so now you have your opposite supporting leg. So build your foundation first. However that might look for you. Root down into that supporting leg, tall spine. Let the other shoulder roll back and reach toward that back foot. Just toward it. We're not touching it. We're not bending backwards to touch it. Maintaining a tall spine here. And then you can extend your other arm outward. The chin mudra. Gazing upward. You can continue as you are. I'm just going to switch here so you can get a little bit of a side view. Reaching back. There we go. Lifting the heart. Tall spine. Tadasana, dancer. That supporting leg is engaged. And then we'll go ahead and let things relax and ever slowly bring the arms downward to the body. And release the bent knee and come back into Tadasana. And now I would invite everyone to go ahead and find a seat, either on, you can either sit down on your mat or your chair. And we'll take, if you're sitting down on the mat and your legs are extended, you'll cross one foot over the other. If you are practicing seated, you can cross one ankle over the other, or you can cross at the knee. Now, whatever leg is on top, take the opposite hand and place on the knee. Not pulling on it, just placing it there. In fact, flip the palm upward. And then take your other hand and place it on your hip. Now we'll very gently turn to the side and we'll let our belly lead us. And then our chest will follow, and then our shoulders. So oftentimes, the reason why you put the palm up is because when the palm is down, it often wants to just pull us farther into the twist. It's just a natural, you just do it without even realizing it. So this way, we're a little more mindful about how we're twisting. And then we'll gradually come out, let our shoulders, and then our chest, and then our belly come back to center. Uncross your legs, and we'll go to the other side. So the opposite leg crosses over, whether you're doing seated with outstretched legs, or whether you're on the mat, or whether you're on the chair. Bring the opposite hand to the knee. Then flip it. The other hand on the hip. And then we'll gently turn to the other side. We'll let the belly lead. And then the chest. And then the shoulders. Tall spine. And then we'll slowly return to center. Let the shoulders or your chair, but scoot all the way back so that your body can feel completely supported. If you're in a chair, use your block or a little something to place your feet upon. This allows the legs and feet to more fully relax. If you're resting on the outsides of the feet, legs splayed, it's just a message, we're resting. We're not going anywhere. And just allow that whole lower body, your legs, to be hugging and sinking into the surfaces below it. Totally at rest. Nowhere to go. Feel the support behind or under your back, your upper body. Just allow to lean into that. Shoulders soft. Arms outstretched, palms facing upward to receive the benefits of your practice today. Let the neck soften. Might even need to bring the chin forward slightly. Soften your scalp, your forehead. Soften the areas around your eyes, your ears, and your face. allowing the jaw to lower slightly. This is your time of rest, a time for your body to absorb the benefits of the practice. I'll tone the chime when we're ready to bring our session to a close for today. Begin by moving your fingers and toes slowly and gently, your feet and your hands, your ankles and your wrists. Slow, gentle movements, bringing them back into the body. Bend one knee and then the other as you bring your feet to the earth. If you are lying down, gently roll to one side and pause there for a moment. And we'll gently bring ourselves back up to the seated position where we began class. With the soft gaze, we'll inhale, bring our hands to sky. Exhale, toward the earth. Breathing in, gathering up all the goodness of the practice. Breathing out, releasing whatever you need to let go. Just shake it out. And then another inhale, bringing the palms up above your beautiful shining crown. And as you exhale, slowly bring your hands toward heart center, gently brushing your fingertips across your face. It is an honor to share this practice with you. Thank you for your presence today. May you be filled with peace. May others sense the peace you have to offer as we all bring more peace into our world. Thank you for being here today. Shanti. Take your time. There's no hurry. We'll see you another time.